Welcome to pattern making class. I'm Annette Julie, and today we are working on making a hidden placket. Now when you make a shirt or a blouse, you have the hidden placket for a woman on the right hand side, for a man the left. And what you would need is use one of my other plackets on the left hand side. So here in a prior video I have made a fold back placket, which this is for the right, but if you fold it the other direction, seam allowance in and over, and an edge stitch, that's for the left hand side. Or you can do a detached placket for the left hand side of your shirt, where you're sewing this independently to the center front with a clean finish. Both of those plackets, the detached and the fold back, you can use interfacing inside as well. So you're using one of those choices on the left hand side of the shirt. Now on the right hand side of the shirt, we're making a hidden placket. So you're going to start with either your torso, or you're going to start with your basic bodice. We're starting with torso. We're going to go ahead and make our center front line, which also can be a grain line. Or you can use a grain line and move it over. So I've traced off a grain line. Let's go ahead and line this up here at the bottom of the hem. There you go. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to trace off our side seam, a little bit of our armhole, our shoulder, and our neckline. Go ahead and trace off your dart tips. Let's go ahead and check and make sure we have everything traced off before we lift it up. Yes, that looks good. So we can go ahead and draw our darts in. And you need to decide what to do with them, if you're going to keep them, or you're going to go ahead and change them into a different type of design where it's more like blouson. Okay, great. Here's our copy of our front. Now, this is center front. Okay, like if you've seen my last two videos for detached or fold back, you know the first thing I do is center that placket. So I have to go 1/2 of an inch in, or you can make this 1.5 inches wide. If I'm making this 1 inch, I'm going to go in 1/2 of an inch. And I'm going to go out 1/2 of an inch. So I've made this 1 inch wide just to start. And that's how wide I've made my other videos, so all these go together. You need to make them matching widths from side to side. Now here's the front. This is the front of the placket. This is going to be hidden, so we're going to build this out, but now we need to draw the back. So the front of the placket and the back of the placket are just as wide as each other. So we're going to go out another inch. We're going to square off our hem. And this is the back. But now we need to make the hidden part. The part we're not going to see. So if we want to make this hidden, we better make it a little bit smaller than we already have it. So if this is 1 inch, let's go out 7/8. We'll go down the full length of our shirt. We've gone out 7/8. 1/8 of an inch smaller than 1 inch. This is going to be the front, but this is the hidden part. And you're going to see what I mean in a second. This part shows, right? The front, I'll show you. I'm going to fold it all up. It's going to be like magic. This is here to here, 1 inch. And it's centered around center front. That's the center front right here. Center, front. Okay, here to here, 1 inch. Here to here, 7/8. Our next measurement, 7/8 of an inch. We are making the back part of the hidden part of our hidden placket. All the way to the bottom. And this is also, like I said, this is going to be the hidden part. And here's our back. This is also 7/8. And we didn't start from the center front and go out. We started from the center front. We went in 1/2 and then out 1/2 and then the rest of the measurements. Make sure you're centering it over center front. Now we need our seam allowance on the outside edge, which on most plackets you ever make is going to be 1/4. Because this is woven fabric that we're going to be working with, and a woven torso. Now let's go ahead and let's trim that off. Our excess paper. And we're trimming this off. Where I'm cutting now is right on the edge of the 1/4 inch seam allowance of the hidden portion of the placket. I don't have any seam allowance down there at the bottom. I'm just going to trim a little bit. And I'll go up this time for seam allowance. I'll shorten this. Okay. Add our 1/4 inch there. Now, and if you want this to match with your other ones, make sure you line all your hems up from right to left. So now we're ready to go ahead and fold this and show you our hidden placket. Hidden placket. Okay. So we're going to start at the beginning, and the part that shows the front, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to take the back and fold it where we're not going to be able to see it. Okay. Let me cut out the neckline first. A little bit of the neckline just so we can fold it. Okay. So That's the part that's the front. We want it to show. Now I'm folding the back. Now the hidden part, I'm going to actually crease this and fold this forward. I have to lightly crease it and look at it while I'm doing it. And the back part of the hidden placket, let me lightly crease that as well. Work on your fold lines. They need to be precise, especially with something like this. Okay, this is coming into shape. Now the seam allowance would be going underneath. So I'm going to put that underneath right now, and I'm going to continue to fold this accurately for us to take a look at. It's like a little bit of origami. Okay, I think we mostly have it folded. So, like I said, this is the right side of the blouse, and you use another placket where we don't have this hidden placket. We see the top 1 inch, but we would not put button or buttonholes there. Underneath, we would see the hidden placket, and this is where the buttonholes would go for a woman's blouse. Now, when we take a look at this, we have our 1/4 inch seam allowance that I've tucked underneath. But the amazing way to sew it is to press this all, tuck this underneath, use interfacing in here if you would like to. You may use it for the full 4 inches, or you can use it for just the front part. Sometimes it gets too bulky, so you could just do it for 2 inches and iron a 2-inch strip along here, okay? But when you fold this all up and you tuck that 1/4 inch seam allowance underneath, if you do a single stitch all the way down the middle, this is 7/8 away, this is 1 inch away, and then you press it back, that's the sewing for the hidden placket. All right, so on the hidden placket, I'm going to unfold this. We know this is the part that is the front and the back, and we're not putting a buttonhole there. But this is the part that's going to have the buttonhole. So when you're working on a buttonhole, you want to first off decide where your top button is going to be. So on this, here's the 7/8, so we have to go in the middle. Okay, I don't want them too far down. I don't want them all the way to the hem. I'll stop at about 3 to 4 inches from the hem. And at the top of the neck, we're going to put our first buttonhole. I'm going to start 1/4 of an inch away. Okay, and if my button is about 7/8 of an inch, I could go ahead and make a 1 inch buttonhole, and that's from here to here. And then I could go ahead and space that. Probably about 2 3/4 of an inch, or 3 inches is sufficient. Make another line, and I'm making a 7/8 inch button. So I'm using a 1 inch buttonhole. And I'm going to go ahead and space this 3 inches apart. I'm going to make them all the way down to where I've decided my last one should be. So I'm starting at the top. I'm going all the way down. I have a 3 inch space. Your space could be anywhere between 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 1 inch, excuse me, 3 inches at the most. And I've made a large button hole, but I'm going to use a thin shell button. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I could put a 4th one on, and that's where the buttonhole would be for the hidden placket. Hidden right underneath there. Then our button would be on the other side, and you would mark it in the center as well, right here with the little X mark, but on the opposite side on your detached or full back placket. This is Annette Jouy, and this was your hidden placket. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Au revoir.